Lorraine was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer about 2.5 years ago. It took a couple of months to actually identify the fact that it was a cancer. And once diagnosed, we found out it was a cancer where the average life expectancy is approximately 6 months. And the cancer progressed quite quickly. The surgery was a success, but unfortunately at that time they found that more tumors had developed. And then she unfortunately passed away about 4 months after that. So I think one of the challenges of cancer care is that there's a lot of different opinions out there around what success looks like moving forward in your life. I think everyone hopes that you will survive, and I think everyone has a story or two about someone who defied the odds and did survive. And so you'll always have people who will be trying to, in some way, often in a very well-meaning way, insert themselves into the dialogue around how you treat or how you approach treatment in dealing with your disease. And I think it can be very challenging. So when it came to decision making at the end of her life and whether or not she would be able to make decisions, I think we were very naive and very lucky. We had talked in advance about what we wanted to have happen, but I don't think we fully appreciated how rapidly these things can come on and how it can impact the person's ability to actually make decisions. She was probably until the last week of her life, she was very involved in decision making, maybe the last 2 weeks. But again, I think we were fortunate because I know of other situations with other families where something like that happens much more quickly, and people don't appreciate how much more of a struggle that can be once the person is no longer part of the decision-making process. I think the main benefit of having the green sleeve was actually knowing that you could take that with you under any medical circumstance and know that the goals of care designation would be honored by whoever that you were interacting with from a healthcare perspective. The advice I'd give around advanced care planning is it's never too soon to be talking about it. I think even before something happened to us from a medical perspective, we were talking about it philosophically. I think we all like to think that something like this will never happen to us, but the reality is, unfortunately, it sometimes does. And you're so much better off having had those discussions in advance than having to deal with them with all of the combined stress of what is happening with you medically, plus the family consequences and everything that gets piled upon you. So to have had a rational conversation in advance of that, I think was critical to us being able to deal with things in a very timely and the smoothest possible fashion that it could have been dealt with. I think everyone hopes that you survive a cancer diagnosis. And what we learned from our experience is sometimes hope becomes spending the best time you have with your family and friends during the remaining time you have in your life, or spending the best quality time possible with your family and friends in the remaining time you have left. So the idea of reframing hope was one of the most valuable things I took away from the experience.